We will be starting the program shortly. We thank the library staff for remaining standing. So we are leaving the seats for the members of the public. So we ask that you please take a seat if you're a member of the public so we can identify all remaining seats and we can make them available for people who are waiting outside. Thank you so much, and we'll start the program in a few minutes. We have closed the doors of the auditorium, so if there is an available seat next to you, please raise your hand so someone who's standing can take those seats. And we'll start the program in a minute. Thank you. And that includes our staff. So if you see an available seat, please take it.
Time? All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Wow, we were worried nobody was going to want to come to our birthday party, so thank you. Good morning, and welcome to the Central Library Centennial Celebration Kickoff. Yes. My name is Christina Rice, and I am the Senior Librarian of the library's Historic Photo Collection.
Buenos días, yo soy Madeline Peña, encargada de asuntos comunitarios, Principal Librarian for Community Engagement and Outreach. Sean todos bienvenidos al lanzamiento de la celebración del centenario de la Biblioteca Central.
We are the co-chairs of the Central 100 Planning Committee, and we, along with dedicated staff throughout the library system, have been hard at work planning this year-long celebration of events and activities honoring our beloved Central Library. This morning, we are pleased to present a slate of speakers for whom Central is near and dear to their hearts, and who will talk to you about this year's offerings and the significance of Central as the light of learning for the residents of our city.
We are honored to welcome our first speaker. John F. Sabo is the 20th City Librarian of Los Angeles. and Chief Executive of the Los Angeles Public Library System. Under his leadership, the library has launched groundbreaking programs such as Career Online High School and the New Americans Initiative, and received the nation's highest honor for library service, the National Medal for the Institute of Museum and Library Services. John himself was recently recognized at a national stage as Library Journal's Librarian of the Year for 2025. Welcome, John Sager.
Well, good morning, everyone, and a very special and warm welcome to this amazing building, Central Library. It is indeed my pleasure to extend that welcome to all of you, and a joy to be City Librarian. I have the best job in Los Angeles. And this, of course, is the kickoff for Central 100, a year-long celebration of the 100th birthday of the Richard J. Riordan Central Library. I want to begin by just saying how special it is to be in this room with all of you. I feel like I want to spend 15 minutes with every single person in this room and talk to you. This is a family of people who for years have loved this building. The people in this room have written books about the Central Library, have given money, supported Central Library, have worked here, have been stewards, served as commissioners, currently serve as commissioners, and so many of you have fought to preserve this building, to lift it up, to celebrate it, and to support the work that we do here. And so it feels very much like being with family. And since I became city librarian in not that long ago. It's been 13 years, but it hasn't gone back that far. Since 2012, I have been in love with this building. I have each day sought to learn more and more, and I still learn new stories all the time about this magnificent building and its history. And it has been so wonderful in the weeks and months leading up to this celebration to learn even more. And I know this year will be filled with the sharing of stories and learning even more about this building and celebrating it with people here in Los Angeles and people everywhere. So I just want to share that it's very special for me to be with all of you, and thank you for being here, and thank you for all that you have done to support the work that we do here and to support this building. And I know that we have many staff here, and I want to thank the staff of the Los Angeles Public Library, first and foremost, our current staff and our staff who've worked here for many years and those past. We're celebrating a building today, but it's a reminder that we are also celebrating all that has happened here over 100 years and the ways in which our libraries have done good work, have inspired people, have inspired the youngest in our community, the lives that have been changed, and the impact that this institution has had. While Central Library is 100 years old, of course, it seems young compared to the age of the institution itself. The institution goes back to 1872. We're over 150 years old. And the library has grown to encompass more than 72 branches, as well as our central library, and expanded to almost 1.5 million square feet of space across the city. In the first 50 years of the Los Angeles Public Library, we did not have a permanent home for the library's headquarters. The city's central library actually occupied 5 different temporary locations in downtown LA through the years, including a department store, the old city hall, and even rented rooms above a saloon. That must have been made for good stories each day. You can learn more about Central Library's history in the new exhibits we've just opened in galleries throughout the building, and Kren Malone, our director of Central Library, will be telling you more about those exhibits a little later in our program. Just a little teaser, The Well of the Scribes, a story and an artifact that many of you are familiar with, the long-lost bronze well basin that was in McGuire Gardens, dating back from 1926, is on exhibit right now for the first time ever. So you'll be able to see that and learn more about the Well of the Scribe story. Through the hard work and perseverance of a handful of visionaries, led by City Librarian Everett Perry, there was a bond measure in the 1920s to raise money for a permanent building. And it passed overwhelmingly, and it raised funds needed to finally build a permanent location for the Los Angeles Public Library. And this was in many ways the beginning of an incredible tradition where the voters of Los Angeles have gone to the polls and strongly supported the work of this institution, most recently in March of 2011 with the passage of Measure L. And for all of you involved with that, I say thank you. I'm never in front of a group of Angelinos where I don't offer thanks for the passage of that ballot measure. It has allowed us to be incredibly innovative, creative, and strong in the work that we do here. Dedicated in July of 1926, Central Library became a major hit, an instant architectural icon. But just as LA's growth had highlighted the need for constructing a large central library to meet the needs of the community, the city's tremendous expansion through the years that followed necessitated enlarging that building just a few decades later. And as most of you know, Central Library suffered a catastrophic fire in 1986, and when it reopened in 1993, its footprint had doubled in size with the addition of the new Tom Bradley wing. And of course, you are in part of that space now. And when you came in, you undoubtedly saw the magnificent atrium of the Tom Bradley wing with the marvelous Thurman Statham design chandeliers. With room to offer the resources needed in the 21st century, Central Library is now celebrating both its past and its future. And our staff and supporters have put together an incredible year-long celebration for Central 100. As I mentioned earlier, we have the 5 new exhibits that tell the transformational story and are now open in our gallery spaces. And please do take time to explore those and bring people back and let others know about all of these exhibits that tell just an incredible story. And also, and I think we have a slide for it, the library's own publishing house, Angel City Press, which has been tremendously successful. Yes, thank you. Will be publishing and releasing 2 new books in June and July of this year. The first is Los Angeles Central Library Pops, celebrating a century of the light of learning in a 3D adventure through Central Library's history with incredible paper engineering and pop-ups. And if you know anything about children's services at the library, you know that we have an amazing pop-up book collection here at Central Library, and so it continues that tradition with publishing a book just about Central Library, which is really wonderful. And while that pop-up book is actually intended for adults, we will also have a children's picture book, and it is called, of course, L is for Librarian, the ABCs of Los Angeles Central Library, and it is actually so new we're still working on its cover art, so please stay tuned. But that book will be coming out over the summer, and when we acquired Angel City Press and received that incredibly generous donation from its owners a few years ago, it has always been part of the dream to be able to publish children's books as well as all of the great books that lift up and highlight the art and architecture of Los Angeles. So that's really special that this will be the first children's book. And I'm also delighted to share with you that we have a special edition library card. Check it out. Yes. We love our special limited edition. It is a limited edition, so get yours soon. Library cards here at the LA Public Library. Many of you may remember the P22 card, which was wildly popular. And I think there is an underground market for those cards now. Super, super popular. I still get asked, do you have a P22 card? The wonderful Shepard Fairey design card, and of course the incredibly popular Gajin Fujita card. And I know many of you have all of those, but this is a fantastic new card that celebrates the centennial of our Central Library. And we've just started issuing these today. We held them all back until today. They are available, of course, here at Central Library. We have a little space outside of the reception for you to sign up for a card. You can also, of course, sign up for cards at our circulation area here at Central Library. And all 72 of our branches will also be issuing these cards as well. and they're a lot smaller than this one, so they will fit in your wallet. I mentioned our past special edition cards, but on July 11th of this year, we will be celebrating the 100th anniversary of Central Library's opening with a day-long festival throughout this building with presentations and crafts and performances for all ages. So that's going to be a big celebration, and that will be to the moment of the 100th anniversary of the actual opening of the doors of this building to the public. And then for a fun finish to the year, we will stage a lively, old-fashioned melodrama that tells the story of LA's 50-year effort to build a permanent central library. Who will be the heroes and heroines? Will there be a villain? Join us in December to find out. That's your teaser. And if you forget, we will be advertising it like crazy between now and then, trust me. Central 100 will also offer online activities and resources, including a monthly podcast exploring the library's history, blog posts, a very special reading challenge that you'll hear more about later in the program, and also, importantly, a community oral history which you can contribute your story to. And the Los Angeles Public Library is committed to and all about preserving the incredible history of our city and of Southern California, and we do that in so many incredible ways. Our staff are absolutely wonderful at that, and oral history is very much at the core of that. And we have so much good work that is happening around oral history at the library, and this collection of stories as part of Central 100 is certainly part of that. Please check out the website for more information about that and all of the Central 100 efforts and celebrations. I want to also note, importantly, that this celebration is made possible by the hard work and dedication of our staff members here at Central Library and our branches. Our incredible branch library staff have been a very important part of celebrating Central 100 and helping to put this together. And also, we have received the support of so many others in addition to our staff. And I want to begin by recognizing our Board of Library Commissioners. We're thinking a lot about the Board of Library Commissioners because we're looking back to those photos of the cornerstone and the time capsule and the opening of the building. And so it is a wonderful connection. I love that our board had the exact same name back in 1926 as they do today. But our Board of Library Commissioners, and I want to recognize our Board of Library Commissioners, Commission President Myra Valadez, who's here with us today. Thank you so much. Our Vice President, Linda Blank, who is with us. Thank you so much. And Commissioner Kelly Besser is also with us, and you'll be hearing from her in a few moments as well. I also want to offer tremendous thanks to our Central Library Director, Cren Malone, and the Assistant Director of Central Library, Anna Campos, and you'll be hearing from Cren in a moment, but Cren and Anna, please wave. Thank you. And you have heard from them and you will hear from them, but I want you to please, if you would, for me, give them another big round of applause. Our co-chairs of Central 100, Madeline Pena and Christina Rice. It is a lot of work to put this together, and they certainly have led that effort, and you have heard and you will hear their absolute commitment and passion to this celebration, and we really appreciate that. All of the members of the Central 100 Committee as well from library staff. Our steadfast supporters at the Library Foundation of Los Angeles are to be given enormous thanks. They provide funding, advocacy, and they are always talking about and championing the work that we do. And we are so lucky. I tell my colleagues in the city, I'm so fortunate that we have an organization, a healthy, robust, strong organization with incredible advocates and leaders that exists exclusively to support the Department of City Government, the institution that I lead, the Los Angeles Public Library. And so I want to thank all of the folks here who are connected to the Library Foundation of Los Angeles, certainly our President and CEO, Stacy Lieberman, who you'll hear from as well. The Library Foundation Board, I've seen so many of you. Thank you so much for being here to support us. And all of the donors and supporters, and particularly those who've supported the Centennial campaign. This is a wonderful opportunity to support the Library Foundation and the work we do here at the library by giving to that effort, and we thank everyone who's been a part of that. I'd also like to recognize some special friends in the audience today. Our former director of Central Library, Giovanna Menino, is here. Thank you, Giovanna. And another name that is so connected to this building and the services here and to the Los Angeles Public Library is a woman by the name of Lois Pleasant. She was the first African-American director of Central Library, and we have family members of hers that have joined us from many states and many parts of California. Thank you all for being here today. It means so much that you're here. I have to tell you, one of the wonderful things about serving as city librarian is the enormous support we receive from so many, and that of course starts with the community that we serve, all of the patrons and supporters throughout the city of Los Angeles, but also all of our incredible Friends of the Library groups. We are so fortunate to have over 60 different groups supporting branch libraries, our photo collection, our children's literature department, various departments here at Central Library, another incredible group of advocates, and all of the volunteers that we have at the LA Public Library. Many thanks to all of them. Also, our city council, who supports our library so strongly. We're very, very thankful to them. And of course, our mayor, Karen Bass, who has been such a strong supporter and really a believer in the Los Angeles Public Library and the work that we do. She really understands the ways in which we impact people's lives and make a difference for everyone in the community. And it's been a pleasure to have her support our work and to support her in her work. And I have the good fortune of working very closely with a leader on Mayor Bass's team who loves our libraries and serves as a strong advocate for the Los Angeles Public Library, not only within the mayor's office, which is really important and wonderful, but in the community as well. And it's my pleasure to work with her, but it's also my pleasure to welcome her now. Please join me in welcoming Deputy Mayor for Neighborhood Services, Jacqueline Hamilton.
Good morning, everyone. You know, when I came in, I was wishing everyone a happy Library Day, but then I gotta say, a couple of librarians corrected me and said, every day's Library Day. So, but on behalf of Mayor Karen Bass, who really wanted to be here, but she's in Washington, D.C. With the U.S. Conference of Mayors, showing leadership there for what every other one, all kinds of other cities are facing now that we are continuing to deal with. I want to bring you greetings and let you know how much she's grateful to everyone in this room, whether you are an enthusiastic patron, a leader, a member of the commission, a member of the Library Foundation leadership, or a supporter. Regardless, you make this institution what it is, and as much as we are celebrating this magnificent building, if it weren't populated by you and the likes of you, we wouldn't have the institution that we have today. Karen Bass brought her children to the library as they were growing up. She continues to use the library, and she is tremendously proud of the leadership, not only of our world-class librarian, but also of the service offered by the remarkable and dedicated staff, not only here in Central Library, but across the system every single day, and not only to the residents of Los Angeles, but way beyond, including the program to allow people who have a book banned locally to have access to that book through the Los Angeles Public Library. The library offers programs well beyond books and authors, as critical as they are. But it has really risen in recent years to meet the challenge of how do libraries stay relevant and continue to provide the service of educating, enlightening people. And so we have the New Americans program, helping people on their immigrant journey to citizenship and beyond. Our Tech2Go computer program that helps assure that we're trying to bridge that digital gap for people who don't have access, where you can check out a laptop and a hotspot for 6 months. We have the Library Experience program that tries to meet people where they are and is quietly providing a non-police alternative to disruptive and problematic behavior in public spaces by serving people. Karen Bass is deeply proud to be associated with the Los Angeles Public Library, and she thanks you all. I have to say, it's my privilege to work with John Szabo. I've had a career that allowed me to meet a lot of famous people, but the ones that make my heart swell are the librarians. I have pictures of myself with Dr. Lonnie Bunch, the head of the Smithsonian, Dr. Carla Hayden, the former chair of the the Library of Congress, and today I finally realized I don't have any pictures of myself with John Szabo, so we fixed that. Look, this building is 100 years old, and it's a wonderful, wonderful artifact here that remains a living thing, but it's also been, it's a testament to generations of librarians and other service people in the library who have made it what it is today. I have a history with libraries. I remember in 4th grade agonizing over the gift I was going to give to the children's librarian at the Riverside Public Library. She was that important to me. And my own daughter has spent tremendous time here in the library. This was her big independence. Starting around age 10, she could take the bus to the library and to her lessons at the Colburn School. And she grew up in Teenscape. And it has made a tremendous difference to others in my neighborhood and my family. She's taken her friends to the library, and they've discovered what is available here, including wonderful innovative programs like the Octavia Lab, the maker spaces, the other things that you don't necessarily associate with the library right away. We have 72 branch libraries, but I want to emphasize that as we're celebrating Central 100, this building, this library, this facility is for everyone, and I hope that everyone throughout the city of Los Angeles will have a chance to come and dip into the many offerings that this library provides, not only learning about its history, but the art, the music, the parties, the workshops, the tours, all of the things that are going to happen not only this special year, but that happen every year because of the remarkable staff. So again, on behalf of Mayor Karen Bass, who sends her heartfelt greetings, thank you for your support for the library, and thank you to everyone who makes this such a special institution. And I get to do this. I get to present certificates all over the place. Come on up. So a Centennial certificate from Mayor's office, celebrating the building and the remarkable achievements of the Los Angeles Public Library and Central. Thank you again.
So even though Central Library is 100 years old, the position of Central Library Services Director was not established until 1961. This position oversees our 11 subject departments and the day-to-day operations of this landmark building. I am now pleased to introduce the current Director of Central Library Services, who this year will be celebrating 10 years in the position. Join me in welcoming Cretton Malone.
Thank you, Christina, for that. I'd like to start by thanking Deputy Mayor Hamilton for joining us today. And it is my pleasure and privilege to welcome all of you here as the Director of Central Library. And for the record, I am the 10th individual to serve in that role. And as John shared, I also want to take a moment to recognize the family of Miss Lois Pleasance, who was the first woman and African American to serve as Director of Central Library. And to note, her family here today does include her siblings, Mrs. Olivia Marshall and Mr. Wayman Pleasance, who I've been told is also celebrating his 100th birthday this year. So that is amazing. Yes, give it up. And we are delighted to have you all. You can learn more about Ms. Pleasant's tenure and legacy when you tour our Getty Gallery exhibit in which she is featured. And as John also mentioned, I would like to tell you more about the 5 new exhibitions you can explore to learn the story of Central Library. In our largest exhibit space, the Getty Gallery on the 2nd floor, we have Celebrating a Century of the Light of Learning. This exhibition highlights the current offerings of Central Library subject departments, as well as the 100-year history of this cultural landmark. Each of the giant books represent a different subject department, and you have to check it out to find out all the other amazing things it offers. So adjacent to the Getty Gallery is the Annenberg Gallery, where you'll find the art and architecture of a Los Angeles icon. In this exhibit, you will meet the architects, artists, and philosopher who worked together to create Central Library as we know it today. And next up, our two first-floor galleries have complementary exhibits. One features the artwork that never was. When Central Library was renovated and expanded in the early 1990s, the plans included 12 pieces of approved public art. However, due to budget constraints, only 6 pieces were completed. Explore what might have been with plans for the lost 6. And here's a hint, push the illuminated button in this exhibit for a special surprise. And so the opposite gallery holds the Centrals that never were. That's a collection of some of the suggested plans for Central Library from the early 1900s, along with never-used ideas from the 1970s about how to renovate the building. And finally, in the History and Genealogy department on lower level 4 is an exhibit of historic photos. So you can step back in time to see the birth of Central Library with constructing a Los Angeles icon. The exhibit contains the images of the building process from the ground up with images from the library's own photo collection. In addition to these exhibits, which you can visit today, a traveling display about Central Library's history will be making stops at many of our branches throughout the year. As Sean has already shared, we have an amazing lineup of programs and activities for Central 100, and I hope that you will join us often throughout the year and for the years to come. Thank you very much for having us, for joining us. Thank you.
The Board of Library Commissioners has always played a vital role in library affairs and worked hand in hand in the 1920s with City Librarian Everett Perry and library staff to make this building a reality. I'm honored to introduce Kelly Besser, who was appointed to the Board of Library Commissioners by Mayor Karen Bass in 2023. I had the honor of touring Central Library with her. It was a 3+ hours tour. Don't tour with me if you don't want the full story. She is now an expert on this building, so please join me in welcoming Commissioner Besser.
Thank you, Madeline. Good morning, everyone. What a pleasure and a privilege it is to be here today as a member of the Board of Library Commissioners. And also, in real life, I'm a librarian and archivist, too, so LAPL is really in my heart. And it is so wonderful to serve in this position. I'm sure the people that worked so hard to open up Central Library in 1926 were as proud of their library and community as we are today, a century later. While the role that libraries play has expanded through the years, a core element has remained constant: to offer opportunities for growth throughout people's lives and to provide essential services to the communities they serve. Central Library has been proudly fulfilling that role for 100 years and will continue to fulfill that role, as will our 72 branches throughout the city each and every day. Our staff helps build literacy skills for all ages, offers homework help to students, assists job seekers, and provides programming about the arts, histories, community resources, and more. The library assists community members not only to broaden their education, but also their outlook through lifelong learning. Libraries are a force for change in the lives of the people they serve. Name an interest, and the library can probably offer something that matches it, from workshops and events to books and films and music and art sessions. We are committed to providing programs to meet the needs of the entire community because the library welcomes everyone. Central Library has been serving Los Angeles for 100 years. In fact, let's pause to give a round of applause for the staff of Central Library today, some of whom are here in the auditorium, as well as those who have worked at this incredible institution through decades, serving generations of Angelinos. Thank you so much. I am so proud of your work. It's amazing. Central Library is your community hub, a cultural center, a meeting place, a refuge. We hope you will continue to visit us and to take advantage of all that we offer because we are here for you. Thank you for joining us today for this special celebration. Happy 100th birthday, Central Library.
Yes.
Following the devastating 1986 arson fire here at Central Library, the monumental Save the Books campaign raised $10 million to replace lost collections. From that effort came the Library Foundation of Los Angeles, founded in 1992, which through fundraising, advocacy, and innovative programs supports the Los Angeles Public Library system as a whole. I am now pleased to introduce Library Foundation President and CEO, Stacy Lieberman, who has demonstrated her dedication to increasing LAPL's capacity to enrich, educate, and empower every Angelino. Welcome, Stacy.
Thank you so much, Christina, and good morning to all of you. Standing here today, it's impossible not to feel the wonder of this landmark building. For 100 years, Central Library has stood as a beacon of possibility and hope. It's been a promise that knowledge should be free and opportunity available to everyone. And as Christina shared, that promise has been tested before. In 1986, a fire nearly destroyed this building. 1 million books were damaged. Flames burned for hours. And for a moment, Los Angeles stood to lose one of its most important civic monuments. But our city didn't let that happen. Angelinos rallied, and Central Library survived, not by accident, but because people believed it mattered. Our foundation was born of that moment, and we remain steadfast in our commitment today. At a time when trust in institutions is so fragile and civic spaces are disappearing, supporting the library is an investment in democracy itself. As we celebrate Central's 100th anniversary, we're asking a bigger question. What should a great public library be in the next 100 years? And we're answering that question by boldly investing in the future that Angelinos deserve. Places that are as limitless as our beloved city, where children discover the magic of new worlds, where burgeoning storytellers can start a podcast, and where people learn how to navigate an increasingly complex information landscape. So next week, the Library Foundation will launch the Centennial Celebration, an ambitious multi-year fundraising campaign with a clear goal to first raise $10 million to expand vital library programs, seed innovation and new technologies, revitalize spaces, and strengthen outreach to redefine what a library can be in the 21st century. Over the coming months, we'll host companion programs and festive events inspired by Central Library's extraordinary archives. Did you know that Central Library has one of the largest collections of culinary books in the country? It does, and we'll be kicking off a series called Tastebound, 100 Years of Cookbooking in LA, starting in March. And the popular After Hours Festival, Night at the Library, will return this spring, featuring puppetry, dancing in the stacks, and so much more. Plus, this summer, we'll attempt to build the world's largest pop-up book right here at Central Library. We'll cap it off with a dazzling Centennial Gala in the fall. More than anything, this campaign is about committing to the idea that libraries are not relics of the past. They are engines of possibility for the future. I want to extend our deep gratitude to John Zabo and our library colleagues, and to everyone here today who is helping propel the campaign's early momentum, including our Library Foundation Board of Directors, with special recognition to Deborah Albin Riley, our board chair, Michael Keegan, our Centennial Task Force chair, our partners at the Eli and Edith Broad Foundation and the Steve and Judith Krantz Foundation for their early lead gifts. And I also want to acknowledge the remarkable generosity of Marisa Antonini. As we kick off this centennial celebration and campaign, we have the opportunity and the responsibility to ensure that our library continues to thrive. So join us. We'd love you to get involved, and thank you for helping us write the next chapter for Central Library's story for the next 100 years. Thank you.
On May 3rd, 1925, the Central Library cornerstone was laid on 5th Street. Including in the cornerstone was a time capsule thoughtfully filled with objects to reflect the library and the city of that time. It was a small ceremony, mainly because Library Board President Ora Monette was too ill to attend. Because it was held on a Sunday, the board and the library had to obtain special dispensation for a tinsmith to work that day to seal the copper box that held the contents.
Time capsules are often designed to be unearthed when a building is demolished. However, since we expect Central Library to be around indefinitely, we decided that the Centennial was the perfect time to retrieve ours. Once we decided to do that, there was really only one person in this building who was suited to take on that monumental task. Todd LaRue, Director of Special Projects for the Library Foundation, was both optimistic and relentless in his pursuit of the library's time capsule. I have to say, I was ready to give up more than once, and he never say die. So now we're gonna run a video, and Todd is gonna tell you all about the time capsule himself. Roll the video, please.
I've had a long-standing interest in time capsules. I love LA history, especially unique history and things that involve building and technical challenges such as this. So it's been a lot of fun trying to navigate the different aspects of this project to get it to really happen. It took us just about a year to figure out logistically how we were going to extract the time capsule. We knew from just a couple photographs from May 3rd of 1925 when the Board of Library Commissioners formally dedicated the building by placing the time capsule in the cornerstone, and really not much more information than that to go by. I mean, the biggest challenge was the fact that they never put out instructions or gave a plan for how we were supposed to get it out. There was no access hatch or door or clear method really for retrieving this at all. We couldn't proceed without first being able to verify that it was still where we thought it was. So we could drill some small holes into the grout line between the cornerstone and the other limestone blocks on the building facade. We were able to drill these holes and run in a little borescope camera, and almost immediately we were able to locate the box. Through that process, we were able to determine that it would make more sense from a historic preservation perspective to go in through the interior of the building, which happens to be the men's restroom. We were able to take out a couple historic marble wall panels that will be replaced after the work is done. We even had to cap off the plumbing that was obstructing our path to get at the actual time capsule. But here is what I really wanted to show off at this stage, because this is kind of really cool. So this material here, these are terracotta blocks that are used in a lot of parts of the building, but this section is unique because it's actually just bricking over this square entry. So on all four sides of this opening is structural reinforced concrete, the same way they would have framed out all the windows, but this is where they actually put the cornerstone. We busted through that, exposed the back side of the cornerstone itself, and then finally hammered away enough to actually pull the box out. It took about a week to access the box itself, and then additional time for repairing the wall. This was really meant to represent an institution at a moment in time. In the original Board of Library Commissioner meeting minutes, they submitted a list of the contents of the time capsule. So this is currently all that we have to go on in terms of what to expect. There's an immense sense of anticipation, but the journey of retrieving this, the box itself is an artifact, is an amazing thing, and whatever it contains will be valuable institutional history, if not something more indicative of life in Los Angeles. We had to treat it with a lot of care to make sure that we didn't damage the contents. This is a custom-made copper box that was soldered shut on all sides, so we ended up drilling a hole just big enough to get some manual shears in so it could be hand cut around the perimeter of the lid. The contents of the time capsule are remarkably well preserved, especially given the fact that they were sitting in the middle of our wall for a full 100 years. One of the things that was on the list was photographs of the previous locations of the Central Library, but what we didn't expect was that it would be compiled in this beautiful scrapbook, The Homes of the Los Angeles Public Library. It's just really nice to see the care and attention that was put into preserving this, starting with the Downey Block on Temple and Main, the old City Hall in Los Angeles, the Homer Laughlin Building downtown, the Hamburger Building, another department store, and the Metropolitan Building, before you finally get this view of, it says present building, but it's actually a painting because it was still in construction at that time. This list of the employees of the Los Angeles Public Library is a really beautiful thing because, as simple as it is, it's presented with dignity and pride. It really shows that they valued the contributions of everybody on the staff to help make the institution what it was. Even on the first page here, you've got, of course, the City Librarian Everett Perry at the top, but right below that is clerical staff, including janitorial workers for Central Library, like a gentleman named Doc Cooksey. This is another really interesting document here, a statement from the architects of the Central Library. The statement really gets into some of the challenges that they face from an architectural and engineering perspective throughout the course of the building. And like the library itself, it lists all of the draftsmen and employees who actually worked on building and constructing this beautiful library. One of the most vague or kind of wild card items on our inventory list of what was in our capsule was all of the contents of the cornerstone of the normal school building that was on this site before the library was built. The normal school opened here in 1882 and later would become UCLA and move to Westwood. We sort of had a time capsule within our time capsule. One of the most unique pieces, certainly from the 1881 normal school capsule, is this, which refers to itself as a relic from the catafalque obsequious of President Garfield. And we have a little bit of helpful context from our 1925 librarians who've included a couple of typewritten notes on blank catalog cards. This one says, "The year 1881 was also the year of the assassination of President Garfield. The bit of black cloth and the dried moss are mementos from the funeral. The badge was one worn by the members of a local engine company in the memorial services." The population of Los Angeles in 1881 was only 11,183, so the city was a dramatically different place than it was already by the 1920s when our library was being built. Both time capsules contained objects that represented the city more at large, so both of them had a lot of newspapers. From the 1881 selection, I thought it was most interesting that we had a series of newspapers in languages other than English. We have La Crónica, the Spanish language newspaper, as well as newspapers from LA from that weekend in French and German. Just a kind of interesting demographic look at who was in Los Angeles at that time. The population was small, but it was already, from the start, extremely diverse. As we're now celebrating the centennial of this amazing Central Library building, it's pretty incredible to have this direct link to the leaders and supporters of this institution 100 years ago. Their dedication and hard work has made it possible for the institution to continue to thrive. It's in that spirit that we're really excited and energized to continue the work of making sure that the library remains relevant and a critical resource for Angelenos for another 100 years to come.
Well, I hope you all will join me in giving a round of applause and thanks to our social media and photography team who put together that incredible video. I have to say, I never thought that our first floor men's restroom would receive such prominent attention on screen here in the Taper Auditorium. And to such great cinematic acclaim here, but yet it did, and you know, that was the way we had to get to the time capsule. And so with that, I would like to welcome to the stage the time capsule box itself and our very own Todd LaRue. Really amazing. It took such significant time, effort, and meticulous work by so many people. If you had any idea how many conversations I had about the men's restroom or the front of it, how we would get to it, always keeping the building and historic preservation, of course, in mind. And of course, we always wanted to maintain the historic fabric of this incredible landmark building. I want to thank the many, many library staff members, colleagues in other city departments like planning, the Historic Preservation Office of Department of Planning, specialized contractors that helped us with the boring and that little camera that went in to verify that indeed it wasn't empty and that we actually did have a time capsule in there. We all took a deep gasp when we saw that. And so many people who brought their expertise to bear on bringing to light this just incredible gift from the past. And of course, I want to thank our Library Foundation of Los Angeles and their team for resources that helped us discover this and make that happen. And certainly, again, thank Todd LaRue, who Christina did a wonderful job of introducing the video and him, but he has been relentless and oh so passionate about this, as he has been with every exhibit and project he's taken on, so many thanks to Todd. Yay, Todd. One of my predecessors, City Librarian Everett Perry, who you heard about just a short time ago, and a small group of officials placed this time capsule within the cornerstone of the unfinished Central Library building on May 3rd, 1925. And while none of them could imagine what the city of Los Angeles would be like in 100 years, they had faith that the architectural icon had a long future ahead of it. What did they want to tell us with the contents they chose to entomb that long ago spring day? First, it's important to note that Central Library's time capsule contained that second time capsule, and we knew that that time capsule from the normal school was there. Of course, we did not know what its contents were. Of course, that school occupied the property that we now are on today that became Central Library. A branch of the California State Normal School, the institution here on this ground, trained teachers for positions in Southern California. And like Central Library, the Normal School's 1881 time capsule had been placed behind a cornerstone a year before that building opened. The building opened in 1882, and of course the cornerstone and the time capsule was placed in 1881. And among the more standard artifacts that you would expect, and there was a lot packed into that smaller time capsule, and you'll see that box just outside as well. But there was the memento from the funeral of President Garfield, who had just been assassinated 3 months earlier. There was a comp ticket for the 1881 District Agricultural Fair here in LA, coins from around the world. There was also an envelope of coins as well from 1926 in our 1926 time capsule. And also in the 1881 smaller time capsule, strangely, in addition to many newspapers from Los Angeles, there was a copy of the Oshkosh Northwestern. And we're still putting together why a newspaper from Oshkosh, Wisconsin made its way into the 1881 time capsule. But I had a very puzzled look on my face when I pulled that out. The Normal School vacated the property in 1914 to move to a new campus, and years later merged with the University of California to become UCLA. And they did not, fortunately, take their time capsule with them, so Central Library and the people and leaders of Central Library opened that time capsule and put the contents back in and then soldered it shut again and then chose to thoughtfully place it inside of the new time capsule. For their part, with the Central Library time capsule, officials also included numerous city booklets, pamphlets, and newspapers, which provided a snapshot of a burgeoning city. And you saw in the film, but there was that carefully made scrapbook that held photos of the library's homes prior to the construction of its own building. And they also included several pictures of Everett Perry, library commissioners, and others. And just as now, staff were one of the library's incredible and most important assets, and it was made clear by that wonderful bound book that Todd held up in the film, titled "Los Angeles Public Library Employees, May 3rd, 1925." And I think one of the special things about the time capsule is there are these original items that contain in it historical information that we simply don't currently have. So it is adding to our understanding of and history of the institution of the Los Angeles Public Library, but also the Central Library building. There is even, from this time capsule, a 1924 major traffic street plan for Los Angeles. Yes, maybe we could use that today. So I don't think rush hour was anything new even back then. And there were several annual reports from various city departments, and they may not seem very exciting, but they help sort of tell a story of the leaders of the library and how they wanted to capture that moment and convey it to people in the future of the library as being part of a larger entity in the city. And we had reports in there like the Board of Public Utilities, City of Los Angeles, 15th Annual Report, 1923 to 1924. So I'll have to call up my friends over at Public Works to see if they have copies of that. But we will be creating our very own time capsule at the end of this centennial year, and over the coming months we'll be discussing what to include to represent our time and our world, and how to do what the folks did back in 1925 as they put that time capsule together. You can see the contents of the 1925 time capsule on display today in the lobby adjacent to the courtyard where the reception will take place. And we have everything that was in this time capsule on exhibit, so do take time and enjoy it. And we'll also be bringing this time capsule box to the lobby as well, so that you can look at that as well. Thank you again for joining us today, and let me turn the program back over to one of our Centennial 100 co-chairs, Christina Rice.
So, and as John just mentioned, you will be able to view the contents in the lobby, and give us a couple of weeks, and we are going to be putting up a display on upper level 3 outside our literature and fiction department, so you can go visit the time capsule all year long if you like. So this is your reminder to get July 11th on your calendar for our Central Library Centennial Festival. And then the first 2 weekends in December is when we will be staging the library show, our melodrama, that is going to be produced by our very own John Frank, Senior Librarian of the Venice Branch, who I think John's here somewhere.
Starting February 16, we will be launching our year-long Color by Number Beanstack Challenge. Yeah, so color by number in the library, it's gonna be really cool. You'll be able to participate by picking up coloring sheets and custom colored pencils at all LAPL locations while supplies last. Well, yeah, that's very exciting.
It is.
And we're bringing our car catalog back. Not really, but starting February 16, you could pick up a set of historic car catalog cards at any library location. Each branch will have a commemorative stamp, so you can carry them with you. You can visit all our libraries if you want to get that beautiful stamp, and you can just make them your own.
And we do have literally millions of these, so please, get your card catalogs, please. Today, before you leave, if you go opposite our circulation area in the stairwell, you will see a gorgeous piece of art. It is the torch, our light of learning. It was made by Eric Staniford in our Teenscape department using catalog cards. So the possibilities are endless. So please check it out and take these. Thank you.
Also a reminder to visit our website. That's the URL in Spanish, the URL in English. You can access the podcast. which is past due, 100 years of Central Library. The first episode is live. You can access our oral histories, and you can read the many great blog post articles already published, and everything will be generated and created new throughout the year.
And then also on view in our checkout, our circulation area, there are 8 original artist prints inspired by Central Library. These were made in collaboration with History Art and Gallery 88. And I hope they got in here, but I believe Vincent Jacob, the founder of History Art, and Katie Sutton, the co-founder of Gallery 88, they came in from out of town to attend. The limited edition prints are for sale in the library store. They are limited edition. They are gorgeous. And our library store will be rolling out Central Library merchandise throughout the year. Starting today, they will have this exclusive retro viewer, because Viewmaster's trademarked. This retro viewer featuring 3D images of our beloved landmark. So get yours today.
So we want to thank the staff of the Los Angeles Public Library, library leaders, the same with staff and leaders of the Library Foundation of Los Angeles, who have contributed their time and talents to this Central 100 celebration. We also want to thank some of our special guests here in the audience, some of our city department partners, Daniel Tarica, Director of the Cultural Affairs Department, our city archivist. We have members of the library community, leaders from the Long Beach Public Library and the City of Commerce Public Library, partners from the University of Guadalajara, USA. So thank you everyone for coming to our big birthday party. And a very special thank you to We Are Giants, Chris and Leah. They're here in the audience. And Thought Project for their assistance with exhibitions and our beautiful, outstanding Central 100 design and branding. So thank you, We Are Giants. So now we invite you to join us in the courtyards for refreshments and cake catered by Summit Events, and to view the time capsule contents right outside the Taper lobby.
And just a reminder, all of the gallery spaces that Cran talked about are open. Our exceptional docents will be leading guided tours at 12:30, so that's coming up. They will be meeting people in front of the library store. Thank you so much for joining us, including those who have been watching online, and happy birthday, Central Library.
¡Feliz cumpleaños!